Hello and welcome back to VidEvage, and today we're going to not play anything because we're doing reviews on other people's videos, just for funsies, because why not? About a week ago I made this post on Reddit, and I hadn't really anticipated how much work this was going to be, but here I am, and now I've got to follow through, so here we go. Feel so inclined, please leave a like, and if you find something helpful in the reviews, post it in the comments below and tell me about it. And if you feel so inclined and you want to support the channel, please subscribe. I'm going to break this into a few categories, so that way it's a little bit easier for everyone to get on the same page and understand what exactly is going on. The topics we're going to be covering are intros, audio, commentary, highlights, and end screen. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
Hello everybody, this is VidEvage, and we're back to play some Slay the Spire. Let's dive right in.
I really like how you just dove in and started right away. To be honest, I got nothing to critique on this, so good job. We finished our first level of Ascension on Ironclad, so I think we'll try first level of Ascension on Silent. Great audio quality, on point. It never falls out of line and the quality is professional. This sounds like an excellent podcast. It's excellent. Change nothing.
Fire, do. Yeah, that's looking good. Or we can do fire if we don't feel like the elite. Oh, and we can even hit a shop here actually. Good start.
You've got a really good voice. That said, this sort of loses traction after the intro. There's a little bit of awkwardness here and a lack of oomph, energy, something to really make it pop. It almost feels like you aren't completely comfortable talking to the audience yet, and it kind of shows. Personally, I would find more to talk about other than just the mechanics of the game and try to make it so that I was a little bit more like I was in the world itself. I think a little role-playing here could go a long way to helping you out. Just an idea though. I actually really enjoyed this boss fight. Not sure why, I just did.
Okay, so tune in next time. We'll see if we can get an amazing combo with Nightmare. You know it can happen. And this is the first time I've played with the card. I'm really excited. So thanks for tuning in. See you all next time.
There's no cards at the end screen to lead me to more content. Where am I supposed to go if I want to watch more of your stuff? It just kind of ends abruptly. This hurts you in the long run, but everything else is pretty good. You're doing fairly all right. If you get this down and work on that pacing and conversation bit, I think you'll do pretty good.
Behold! Back at it again.
Okay, right away, you could use a sign-on the first 5 seconds. Something like, welcome to Some A-Holes, and today we're playing. You don't have to do it like I do, but something really punchy would help. Get this out at the start of every video really quick, and it will help set the tone for the rest of your content. Also, can I just say, I really appreciate this channel's name.
Oh man,
Bro,
so that's an intense opening.
While searching an item, click on its description to collect it. Some items don't have a description. I love that loading bar. That's really great.
Your audio could be a little better. I can hear you both clear, however, one of you is closer to the mic than the other, and that sort of detracts from the overall experience. If you really want to kick up your audio a notch and get that professional feel, invest in some equipment for the both of you, and it will help. Believe me, it's bound to bump up the quality of the video exponentially. You guys roll out pretty quick here, and it helps push the video along quite nicely, actually.
What's that black one?
It looks just like us.
It looks just like us.
Two of you have good energy, and you comment off each other quite well. I can tell you guys are having fun, and that brings that good energy to life, and that just works. You stay on topic of the game, make some comical quips, and really press into the characters with some role-playing elements.
You must be Carl. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Ministry of Honor, I welcome you to your new position.
When you broke out into the Richard Nixon accent, I actually really enjoyed that. That was great. Do more character voices. They work for you. Honestly, you get extra points for adding additional lines of dialogue that weren't included in the game.
If you're going to be a perfect beholder, document hobbies, interests, and even conversations, and especially their sex lives.
I love this.
Could the same thing happen to you?
Man, I'm the greatest. It'll never happen.
You have no sign off at the end of your videos, and you also don't have any end screen cards or anything to really help push viewers onto more content. I actually noticed this is a bit of a trend along most of the videos. Seems like none of you guys really want to bother with the end because it's just a little too much work. Start doing those end screen cards, guys. They'll help.
2010 Singularity occupies a peculiar position in gaming history.
Immediately, I'm met with a brand identity. This is fantastic. It's quick, to the point, and gives me a snapshot of who I'm watching. But I do have two gripes with it. One, I think you need some kind of musical ditty to go with it, and two, you should probably get your clean, crisp audio in a little sooner. Just punch it in as soon as the audio was done or your intro is popped up, because there's a little gap there that just sort of kills that whole introduction.
At launch, critics wrote it off as a competent yet uninspired BioShock clone.
I actually also feel like even though this is a review video, you could probably benefit from adding a little call sign, something like, hey, this is Squid the Sid. You don't have to do it, but it is my suggestion, and I think it would help set the tone. This is something I would definitely recommend doing, however, at the very end of your video, because you should have a sign off, and it really just, it helps. It really helps.
Created by Raven Software, known for their work on the Hexen and the Heretic series, Singularity would prove to be their last game before being relegated to the development assistance for the Call of Duty franchise machine.
Your audio is actually clear, upfront, and pretty good. However, there's a bit of loudness to it that makes me wonder if you're hitting too high on your peaks. To give you an idea of what I'm talking about, here's an example.
To salvage the game, it's no surprise why much of the game feels so underdeveloped.
There's also a bit of a bathroom type of quality to your audio that really kind of detracts from the overall commentary. I would definitely look to iron this out because the sound of your voice is really important. That being said, however, content is king and your audio is good enough to get away with not improving it for a while. I mean, look at your view count. You're obviously doing something right.
I don't find these inconsistencies that aggravating, but I would have liked to see these questions answered or acknowledged in some way. The other two endings of the game are better in this respect, since the player doesn't have to kill himself, but they have their own issues.
Because you aren't doing a Let's Play, you're actually hitting a good niche by hitting on game subjects and talking about them. It's really good, it's very well put together, and there's nothing really wrong with your content. The cuts, the images, everything, I'm pretty happy with. That said, there isn't much character in your voice. You come off a little bit matter of fact, and though this doesn't detract from the overall content, I'm not sure if this is intentional. If it's something that you want to improve on, it would be good to sort of add a little bit more flavor and personality, but it's not mandatory to improve your content, in my opinion. Also, there's pretty smart use of music here.
Overall, Singularity is a fun game with moments of excellence, such as its bleak and engrossing atmosphere, but the lack of depth in its puzzles and time control mechanics hold it back from true greatness.
I actually felt like this video could have ended at the 14-minute mark, and I was actually quite surprised to hear that it was continuing. The reason for this is the way that you sort of signed off just around this mark, and it really made it sound like you were wrapping up the video to a closure, but it was just sort of the end of one part that was to be continued in another. Not really a major concern, but something that you might want to keep in mind for future content. I would also get a look at your analytics on your viewer retention and see if they drop off around that mark. If they do, that's probably why. If they don't, I'm out to lunch.
But its development should serve as a precautionary tale to other overly ambitious AAA developers.
For the end screen here, you've got your end cards, and that's fantastic. I'm not used to seeing credits on YouTube, but hey, you know, it works, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, I really do feel like you gotta make good use of that brand you got going on there and have some kind of signature sign-off. Just something simple like, hey, this is Squid the Sid, and thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll tune in to the next one and be on the lookout for this video or that video, or you get the point. I realize you're playing off the PlayStation, but this 18-second beginning really hurts your chances for viewers. Honestly, in most cases, if nothing happens within the first 5 seconds, people just like to drop off and say, nope.
Welcome back, guys. This is another YouTube video. I'm the critic for the game, as always.
You have a good sign-on though, and that's something. It sounds like your audio is coming in off of a game mic, and I'm going to assume that's the case if you're playing on console. Your voice actually doesn't come in too bad off of the mic, however it does sort of detract from the overall quality because it is at the end of the day still a game mic. I'm only assuming I'm correct on this, but whatever the case might be, it's definitely taking an audio hit.
Yeah. Oh, kind of wish I had the pickaxe.
So because you're on a game mic, it's a little bit sensitive to your P's. To give you an example, a lot of what I'm hearing comes out like honestly, I can't fault you for this if it's your only real option, but I would recommend maybe pulling the mic a little bit further away from your mouth because I can hear all your lovely, lovely breathing and mouth sounds. If you think you're serious about doing YouTube and you want to really up your game, I would definitely look at increasing your audio quality for whatever you can manage to put together as a budget. It would just be one of the first things I would invest in. I hate to say it, but the commentary here is really quite dry.
So yeah, I did the first part Christmas Day. That was an impromptu failed dual commentary.
The other thing I would say is that you do lack energy on screen and you do ramble a little bit. If I'm going to watch a video about Minecraft, I don't really want to hear about your Destiny play or anything that doesn't really have to do with the game itself.
Holy doozies. Right. 1, 2.
I have absolutely no idea what went on here, but it does sound like somebody came through a door. Gotta admit, that was kind of weird.
Ooh, looks like there's coal down there. Might get that later if I can remember it.
There's a definite lack of sound or music here, and it definitely wears thin after a while. I know that during the gameplay, you said you didn't really want to add the gameplay music while you were recording, but it doesn't help you. In the very least, I would look at adding some music to play in the background while you were commenting on the game. It could really help kill the awkward silences between every conversation that you have.
Yep, we're coming to an end now, so feel free to drop a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next part. Bye for now.
There's no end card here, and it seems to be a recurring theme as I've mentioned before. However, you do have a sign-off, and that is fantastic.
Dungun Barrage.
I have a nice intro banner here. It's nice, quick, and works well. The one thing about it though is that it does take away from getting into the game, and I could see it getting a little repetitive over time.
I did.
I have to give you that. You finally made it.
I'm fucking here, man. Welcome back to Getting Over It with Dungun Barrage.
Nailed it.
Personally, I would go with the sign-on almost right out of the gate and then put your intro really quickly after maybe 5 or 10 seconds of the gameplay. Just my suggestion though.
Well, that's worse.
The soul would have no rainbow had the eyes met.
Your audio is pretty good. Overall, I can hear both people pretty clear, but the major detraction is that I can definitely hear one of you louder than the other. There's also a little bit of a room echo, which isn't terrible, but it does help to detract against the quality of your audio.
All right.
So upon further inspection, it's me.
This is good energy and good commentary. I can tell you guys are having fun and you're getting into it pretty well. I don't really see anything bad here, and I can see you guys building up off of this. The dialogue is real.
I did it. See? All right.
I am a guru.
And we'll be back.
We were back where we started.
I gotta admit, the fact that you came full circle and got nowhere is pretty funny. No sign off, no end card! To really come up with some kind of sign off at the end of your videos and add some end cards so that people can pursue more of your content. You only need something simple, like Dangan out, or however you pronounce that. I really think that would help.
Welcome aboard, everybody. My name is Ray, and we are back here in Cat Quest with the starting area mountain again.
I actually really like your sign-on. It's fantastic. It's actually really smart to brand your channel this way. The welcome aboard idea really helps with your brand and definitely stands out. Biggest thing here though is I think you need a little bit more energy and really push that forward into the beginning of the video, so that way people know you're kind of serious.
That. I'm guessing Gentletown has something to do with Gentle Bros, which is the people who made this game. You've done well to find this island player.
Your audio is decent. However, I can hear a room echo behind you. I think you're using some iPhone earbuds, and if that's the case, it's actually a really smart, cheap solution for some decent audio. You may want to invest into some more audio equipment down the line, but for now, I think this works well for you.
So I found out that there's actually an area south of the starting area, over here, Gentletown, where we can get a quest that allows us to get a key that will unlock all of those giant golden chests for all of us.
You also have plenty of commentary and you don't let any awkward pauses take over. This is pretty good and you're actually quite consistent. However, your voice actually stays level for quite some time and it doesn't really have much impact. Almost like you're kind of holding your voice back so that nobody can hear you in the next room. When you start getting frustrated, things got a little more colorful.
Dodge. Fuck. Oh, no, no! I was so close! Ah! Lure you up. Hey kid, want some candy? Yeah, you do. How do you like this candy, motherfucker?
Your frustration is fantastic and entertaining to watch. The cuts were mostly on point, although I would have cut a little bit more than how you did. The only thing I can say is that even though you were getting really frustrated, I still felt like you were holding yourself back from really expressing yourself 100%. Maybe this has to do more with your audio than your actual voice, but it's just how it came across. Either way, I really enjoyed this part of your video.
It was very dangerous. I got way too cocky there.
I actually think there are only 3 things holding you back as far as your content goes. Your audio quality, the energy of your voice, and that white closet behind you. I also probably would flip your cam in the other direction so you're facing the gameplay and not the border.
So, yeah guys, thank you for watching. My name is Ray, this is Jump Ship.
Good sign off. Playing up that brand again, and I think it's fantastic. Keep doing this. It works well. You also have an end card. Props. Not many people seem to be doing that. I think you're on the right track here.
Alright, here we go. 2017 was a fucked up year for a lot of different reasons. A movie about emojis was made, my big old boy Chuck Berry died, some other shit happened, but above all that, there were just too many games to play.
You jump straight into dialogue before the video opens up, and I love it. Really helps set the tone for the nature of your content and gets you rolling right out of the gate. I actually don't think you need a sign on here because you just set the tempo that well.
2017 was one of the best years in gaming for both players and a lot of developers. Nintendo bounced back after the Wii U, Microsoft released the most powerful console ever created, and Sony was there.
Your audio is generally crisp and clear, however I can hear a little bit of a hollow sound to it. Because of that, it doesn't really have any warmth, and I don't know if this is something you're doing in post-production, or if it's something to do with your mic setup. I do, however, notice that you like to slow down your voice for effect.
Hang out with Homer Simpson, run pretty fast, be near Gandalf, Ninjago,
Krusty the Clown, the Powerpuff Girls, Chesty McBadbad.
While I do enjoy some snippets, it does come off a little strong sometimes. What the heck did I just watch? You do lose some impact and emphasis every time you use this, so personally I would use this a little more sparingly for greater effect. It's just one of those things that has diminishing returns the more you do it.
It proved the Switch could not only provide hardcore experiences, but that motion controls were here to stay in a good way.
Commentary starts out great.
That game in question?
1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch.
1, 2.
But then gets kind of erratic. I get the sense that this is kind of on purpose since you use the countdown as a gimmick or joke rather than actually providing a real review.
Number 8!
Unfortunately, I think this kind of hurts you in the end because it sort of reminds me of YouTube poop or clickbait. You start out with one idea in the video and you end with something completely different.
Oh yeah! Number 1!
Here we go. know it's time to raise our sails. It's freedom like you never knew.
This might hurt you in the long run because people viewing the video may not be getting what it is that they think they're coming for. However, if you find that a lot of your fan base is enjoying this type of content, then that's your brand and that's what you get known for. So keep doing it in that case. I actually think you need a sign off here, something like thanks for watching, this was edited out, then just cue end card, which kudos for you for having an end card.
Hey, welcome back to the Nick and Alan show.
I'm trying this.
Try, Alan. Try hard.
Try Alan. I don't know. No, come back!
You have a sign on, which is fantastic, but you seem so unenthusiastic about it. It almost sounds like you don't really care who's watching, and it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the video. Unless, of course, this is your style, at which point I wouldn't change a thing. However, in my opinion, it could use a little more love. I would think of it as something you would say to an old friend you haven't seen in a long time, like, hey, welcome to the Nick and Alan show.
Alan's anonymous.
Alan's anonymous.
Wait,
no, there's somebody
if it's anonymous
me.
And his name's Alan, don't you...
I fucking knew it.
I am so glad you put money into your audio setup. A+, don't change a thing.
That's a fucking dedicated ass turtle. I'm gonna fucking get this motherfucker, even if I have to jump off a cliff to do it. I'm gonna get him so good. Bowser's gonna be so proud.
I love this Bowser comment and jab at Luigi. This is great. You start off strong, and the commentary has a couple of lulls, but overall you do quite well. Be relevant to the game, and you have a couple of really fun runaway moments.
Given that we live close to a set of train tracks, Mr. Allen, I've always preferred the train. Ding, 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 ding.
I gotta say, this section actually resonated for various reasons. You're also engaging with previous comments on other videos, and I think that that is fantastic.
Chris, by the way, commented on one of the previous videos
where he come on!
corrected me for being an uncultured swine.
I actually really like what you've done with the empty space on the side here, but I would probably change it up and add some questions that you could ask your viewers for the next video, or alternatively ask for, likes, subscribes, shares. It's a perfect opportunity to do something without being too spammy. I can also see that green screen being put to use, and it's just a little bit off, but I know what you're going for, and I like it.
Get anything done at all, gotta fucking climb this fucking...
Spoiler alert, no.
No sign off. It just sort of ends abruptly. However, you do have an end card here, and I think that's great. You've at least got something going on so that people can find more of your content. I actually appreciate the little animation you kind of have going on here too. I would just sort of clean up the character outlines, and I would also use a different font. Green on green is kind of hard to look at. Maybe use white just for that contrast. Makes the text a lot more legible.
Hello everyone, I'm McShees87 and this is Let's Play Pokemon Soul Silver Part 4. Last time we actually beat our first gym and it only took 20 minutes because Roost is a stupid ability and I hate it.
Simple sign-on, straightforward, and I like the fact that you jump right into the conversation as soon as you start the game. This is actually quite good.
Which I didn't really want, well I mean obviously I can't do that, but the other way we could have done it is just spawn in a Magnezone, but obviously that would be really overpowered if I did that early.
Your audio is pretty good, however I do think I hear you peaking.
What's the sound of buzzing too loud?
And there's a bit of an artificial sound in the back that sounds synthetic. It kind of detracts from your commentary. Audio can kind of be tough to work with, which, if any of you are having difficulties and you work in Adobe Premiere, hit me up on Twitter or personally message me. I'll help you out.
So yeah, we got Magnemite. Don't really know exactly how much action they're going to be getting immediately. And as I mentioned, my general, what I do for these runs is,
you start off strong, but you lose steam and start to struggle shortly after. By the 1 minute mark, I felt you were beginning to ramble, and I felt like there wasn't much substance to listen to after that point. Whenever you lose momentum in commentary on a game, one of the best things that I recommend to anybody is to just put yourself into the game. Roleplay a little bit. Yell at your Pokemon. Tell them what a retard they are and how much they annoy you. Just whatever you do, have fun with it.
What is this? Oh, we do have to go talk to this stupid guy. I don't want your egg, dude.
Look at all this real estate here. I'm not sure what you could do with it, but you can definitely do something. Put some video back there, add some requests to subscribe, like, favorite, whatever makes sense. Since there's nothing really going on in that empty space, you may as well use it for a call to action, and hopefully that will get you some more traction.
We'll see. I'm McShees87. This has been Let's Play Pokemon Soul Silver. Stay tuned for the next part, and bye guys.
Based on the way that you say this, I can tell you've kind of been doing this for a while. No end card to link to the other videos? That's no good. How am I supposed to watch more of your Pokemon videos? Without an end card, you've hurt your chances of people finding more of your videos. However, your sign off here is fantastic. I'm saying that way too much, aren't I?
I've got a little trivia question for you. What do Night Trap and the Pets games have in common? The development of both games was actually overseen by the same person. That's right, the guy who developed Night Trap, a game known for being both controversial and quite terrible, went on to start one of the most infamous franchises in gaming, though significantly less controversial, the Pet series.
There's no intro going on, but apparently I'm a retard because I completely missed the fact that you used it not only 10 seconds later. You did this well. It just lasted a little too long for my taste, but other than that, good job. Wolf.
The original Pet series, developed by PF Magic, actually bears little resemblance to the Pet series of today. Back in the 90s, the Pets games were known for the unique and adorable art direction and their surprisingly complex breeding and AI systems for the time.
The audio here could really use some work. Quite loud, and I can hear some background noise, which might actually be the only thing really holding you back, as your voice doesn't come in as crisp and as clean as it possibly could for a review video. The background noise picks up anytime you speak, and it definitely detracts, especially when there's no music or audio going on.
Now, I'm aware that there's also a dog version called Pets Dogs 2, but I'm more of a cat person myself.
I actually kind of find it funny that I'm reviewing a review. Some reviewception going on here. That said, you've got some really good energy here. You come in strong, you comment strong, and everything really flows rather well. You go from one sentence to the next rather seamlessly, actually.
Now we get to the main menu, and I gotta say, the two options here are continue and start.
It takes you a little while to get into the video itself, and I personally would have jumped into it a lot sooner than you did, but your commentary does serve you quite well. I think the only thing really holding you back here is that audio quality.
So lift the spirits of everyone in town with some new fashion designs and ask you to help her track down the legendary pattern.
This was a fun touch. It was fun and very well presented, and I actually really enjoyed that accent.
Hey everyone, and thank you very much for watching the first episode of the Fishbowl Reviews. This series has been a long, long way coming. Hope to see you all in the second episode.
Hey, look at that. You've got a good sign off and you've got an end card. No complaints here. Keep doing that. Great.
Niva Vlad.
He's not a vampire, right?
I know this is a reoccurring theme, and I've been saying this a lot for a lot of these reviews, but it does bear emphasis. You need to set the tone for your videos. It doesn't have to be like an animated bumper or anything like that, but just something simple like, "Hello, my green people. Welcome to the green orts. 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 Ort. 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 Ort." I don't know how to say that. You don't have to use that per se, but just something to sort of ease your viewer into what they can come to expect.
No, I think it's because he keeps saying.
Oh, he's not a vampire. Okay, so right there. He can't possibly be a vampire. Oh my god, I do the Naruto run. Oh my god.
Your audio could be louder and more clear, but you also have the room echo going on. Unfortunately, this is something that you might struggle with for a while, as it does require investing into some audio gear and learning some audio tricks. Again, if anyone's editing in Adobe Premiere and needs some tips, you can hit me up and I'll do my best to help you out. Audio really is #1 when it comes to most content.
Wizards are dicks.
Aren't we all, though?
Yeah, they're probably gonna die soon. Banana!
Commentary between the two of you actually goes really well at the beginning, but then starts to lose some traction. You've got a fair bit of dead air happening, and when the commentary does start, it does kind of get a little drab. It's not like you guys lack energy. I think you've got that in the bag, but you do need to find more to talk about and or commentate on. Like everything else, it's good to stick yourself into the game and roleplay a little bit. In fact, there's a couple moments I actually really enjoyed in this one.
What?
Ah, you bastard!
I love this moment. The cut in and pan over was well timed, and I would really love to see more of this.
No, 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 no!
Oh shit, I'm on fire.
No outro, no end card. Like the beginning, I would use an end card here and some kind of sign off like Green Orcs out! Again, you don't have to do what I suggest, but these are just recommendations to help get some ideas. This took so much more work than I thought it was ever going to. If you found some of these reviews helpful and you learned something, leave a like and subscribe while you're at it. With that out of the way, I think I'm done. Yep, I'm done. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I guess I'll just have to see you in another video. So until then, you know it.